I'm making coffee. I figure I can multitask, or at least get my thinking going by making coffee. I go for the Melita, this really funky silicone rubber filter holder thinger. I don't like it, but it's what I got. Makes pretty good coffee. I'll settle for no, well, pretty good. So, shifting my thoughts to Big Sur. Big Sur. I got a history of Big Sur. Not the tourist. I drove through it once, or the ever popular. I was going to go there, but I stayed in San Francisco, which is, don't do that. San Francisco is not a great place. Big Sur is a region. 75 miles of coast. Not much in the way of beaches. A lot of cliffs. It's pretty kind of vertical. But it's an amazing place. It's sense of foreboding. I always got rained on in Big Sur. And I was pretty much hitchhiking through there a lot, often, many times. I like that because I always made sure I had enough supplies, whichever end I was going through, to get me through at least 2 days. I would end my rides voluntarily so I could spend the night looking at rocks and the ocean and a very, very noisy ocean at that. You can't surf there. You will die if you surf there. So it's weather. It's made of weather. It's made of smells. It's made of how to phrase it. It is just it's a place that you become, and not in kind of a fully hippy dippy communing with nature thing. That's for the Boyds. This could kill me or maim me. This is just one of those places. A lot of people die there for various reasons. I always like that about it. It's a place that takes effort, a lot of effort, traveling the way I did, which is, I don't travel anymore because I can't travel that way, and that's the only way that made any sense. Road trips with girlfriends just didn't do anything for me. It wasn't there. Even if I tried to sell stories, women in my life just didn't like stories very much. Or if they did, they wanted them carefully tailored to be lighthearted. And I find misery to be lighthearted sometimes, and death to be fodder for jokes. Yep. Well, not bragging, it's just how it was. That's what I wanted to find. Did I find it? Yeah. What did they get me? That's debatable. So now we're going to discuss a incident in Big Sur. Incident? I don't know, just an interlude. I like the word interlude for this. I don't remember which hitchhiking trip it was because there have been so many. And they'll kind of blend and sort in my skull, but I know I ended up in Gorda, and I know that was before I learned to pick jade at Gorda, because you can actually get jade there if you want to get really wet and fall on rocks a lot. Did that. I wasn't that great at it, but I found some jade. Jade's my stone. It's my rock of choice. Funny thing about jade is I could never make myself sell it. And a lot of people didn't. There was a lot of barter. And these were kind of guerrilla hippies I was hanging out with. These were tough and rough guys. They lived in Big Sur year round and illegally. Miss those guys. I think they're probably all pretty much dead, I imagine. Not the kind of people that lived whose ripe old age. But anyway, this is before I got to know those people. I was on my own, hitchhiking, and ended up in Gorda. Gorda's a neat place. Technically a town. Very small town. You can look it up, Gorda. And the beach there is Willow Creek Beach. You can look that up too. And that's where I ended up, off the little road turnout, and decided to get yonder, and I was going to sit on a good-looking rock. I wanted to find a large rock, and plenty of rocks there, mostly green rocks, millions of kinds of green rocks. I like green rocks. It was in the right place. A lot of jadeite, some jade, chert, various other kinds of green stones. That made it harder to find jade there because all the rocks were green, jade colored. So I sat on my rock. I needed to clear my head. I wanted some kind of epiphany, or borrowing that, satori, or just a sense of being. A sense of being within myself and outside of myself. Because I did that kind of thing back in the old days. And I did. Really lost that, but well, things happen to one's brain. When you hit your destination, destinations aren't what they're cracked up to be, I guess. Anyway, sitting on my rock, and I was under the influence of Jack Kerouac pretty heavily at that point. So, kind of half-assed Buddhism, half-assed Christianity, but in a good mood. It was beautiful. The sun was on the verge of going down, and to my right, there was probably 200 yards away, a whole bunch of bikers doing biker things, which is fake fighting and drinking and looking really joyous. And these people are having a really good time. They'd look over at me, and they'd wave, and I'd wave back. They seemed to understand that. You weird young bum looking at our rock, and looking at us, and looking there, and yeah, he looks cheerful enough. We're not getting, and he wouldn't mess up with me anyway, because what's the point? So I did it. I loved it. I declared that my rock, my special rock, and nobody else is ever to sit on my rock. And I could find the rock again. I knew that, even though it's a huge amount of rocks. Ooh, here the rock, there a rock, there a rock. And as always, drinking wine, because I was going through a very long jug wine period. At this point, I don't think I was drinking to excess ever. Hitchhiking, if you drink excess, your life becomes a misery and a burden. No, you really wanted to nurse that jug. And yeah, when the box wine came out, that was a good evolution. The stuff is light, hard to break, and yeah. So I used to travel with the biggest box of wine I could find, because there are not that many stores in Big Sur, and if you go to the store there, it's like 3 times pricier than you would at Safeway. Same for cigarettes. I was rolling cigarettes back in those days, and get a deck of boxes, bugler or drum or whatever you happen to be smoking at that point. Drum if you're a millionaire. Yeah. So yeah, that was my rock, my bikers, my little universe. And I knew when the sun went down, I had a place to roll out. I knew I had a jug of wine. I know I didn't need a radio because I seldom had one, because I didn't need one. pretty much happy to be alone in with my own thoughts, stacking thoughts, retrieving thoughts, teaching myself. Books, yeah, you can't really do that at